Okay, here's a great pocket door repair. Look at these pocket doors. They've seen better days. This home was built in 1919, and these doors don't move, and they want them to work, and they want them to look good.
And start by pulling off the casing, the trim pieces.
So this attaches to the top of the door. That wheel sits in that track, and these two rocker arms probably adjust the height or the alignment, and the wheel is actually on the other side of that. They were installed in opposite direction, and you see this thing, because I can move it, has completely failed. But we'll start by taking this out, and then we can get to those tracks. So now with that piece of top jam out, I took out this pocket door. Here's the track. Oh, look at all these wires in here. The door was probably hitting against these wires at some point and messing with it, and that's probably what threw it off. So we're gonna have to manage those wires better. Now I need to open up the wall, and you see I've already done it here, because I need access to get in there to hang my track. It's best to do it against some studs as opposed to just a free floating piece. Take the Sawzall and just use a very low angle, and then I just kind of cut it just like I would with a razor knife, and that way I'm just barely going below the surface.
I've got my track installed, and I have one of the doors installed. And this is Johnson pocket door hardware, which I use a lot, so I'm familiar with the dimensions. So here's how I chose the location for that track.
The distance between the top of the track and the top of the door is 2 inches. So that's how I determine where this track goes. My rule of thumb is I take the door plus 2.5 inches, and that's where the track should be. So that's why I've mounted the track in this way. Again, this is very unconventional. I rarely do this, but this is a very odd setup. So once I've determined the height of that track, I have to go back in here. Normally I would have a header right here, but because I don't have a header, I had to screw these 2x4s to these studs so I have something to screw the track to, and I want to get all that level. So here's how I did it. I picked my distance first, started in the middle, and then just made the track level as I worked my way over to here. So I did it on that side, and I did it on this side. And it's also very unusual to be hanging double pocket doors. That rarely happens. Normally, the jam would be right here. But when I'm doing double pockets, I don't want to connect these tracks because it's easier to take the door on and off if I can just wheel it off the end there. And we'll put a stop in there when we're done. So now that the doors are hung and everything is working, I have to work my way backwards to make it all look pretty. Here is the center of the pocket right here. And you see I have this huge gap because we had to cut the doors. So now what I have to do is build out my frame and build my jam here. There's no set way to do it. You just have to use your finished carpentry skills before you seal anything up. You want to make sure it goes all the way back in the pocket and there's no obstructions and everything works. I've moved this door to the center location of my jam. And if I was just working on a single pocket door, I would just close this door so it was up against the jam. I've put this 2x4 on here, and I know I'm gonna use this 3/4 inch stock for my jam leg. So that's gonna go like that. You never know how big this thing is going to be. So the 1x6s are 5.5 inches. These I had to rip down to 4 inches. You want to try to leave even space on either side of the door. I cut that top piece first and nail that in. Then I put in my side leg here. I got a nice snug fit, and it's all aligned properly because I want my casing right out here. Find a way to keep the door from sliding too deeply into the pocket. This is a unique situation. So I have, when the door is in the open position, I had 7.25 inches between the door and the wall. So I just screwed in this 2x4 to the back side of the door. So now, when that thing pushes in, that 2x4 is going to hit the wall and the door stops right here with the jam. Now I'm putting in the stop, and this hides all the hardware, makes it look great. Okay, all the casing is in place. We've got the stop on there, all the jams. Now I've got the casing in. There's lots of different ways. Sometimes you leave a little reveal. They wanted it flush here because that's how it is in the rest of this house, and it's a historical preservation. I reused the old top casing just because it has that distinct style. So all the casing is back on and you've tested everything. Do a final test of the doors. Now with these double doors, here's what I did for a couple of reasons. Number one, the edge of the door was all chewed up. It'd be very difficult to patch. So I just cut this edge piece and just beveled the side. And then I put these 2 strips of molding that have a bevel that goes like that. I also put a cap on here because the edges of the doors were so old and chewed up. So now they'll shut and conceal that crack. But when you have double doors, you want to make sure they don't get pulled all the way out, because then it's tough to get them back into the pocket. So that's the middle for this door. And I wanted it to be able to go just a little bit past there, but not come out of the pocket. So I pulled it right to there, and then I measured the distance from there to where the wheels are. And then I marked that line and I screwed that block in there, and I did the same thing here. So now if you pull this door, it can go a little bit past center, but it can't come out of the pocket. And then when you pull them together, of course, it makes a nice closure. And I routed these out. They're going to put in these antique pulls that they've restored, and we're leaving those out because they're going to patch and paint these doors. So now that everything's working, it's been approved, tested, no issues, that is when you patch everything back up. When you put in your drywall, do the patch. Typically when I'm doing these for clients, I offer 1 coat of patch only and the rest is up to them. And now look at that. Got a brand new set of pocket doors in there. And once everything is caulked, patched, painted, it'll look fantastic. So check this out. We went from old doors that didn't work and looked terrible to a set of doors that will soon look brand new. And they move so smoothly, and they're brand new tracks that'll last another 50 years.